some kind of blessing from Buddha Dhamma Sangha. So all the meritorious deeds that we have done throughout the sansaric journey with regard to Buddha Sasana may agglomerate together, and may that great meritorious power help us to understand the Dhamma, help us to develop the Samadhi, which is the background for the Panya to develop, and may everyone be able to complete or open up the eyes of wisdom and to complete the rest of the pathway attaining Nibbana. Accept this blessing by reciting Sadhu 3 times.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
And any unwholesome deed that we have done throughout this sansaric journey, especially towards Aryas, especially towards Buddha Dhamma Sangha, let us focus on all the unwholesome things, the 10 akusala that we have committed throughout the sansara, especially towards these triple gems and all the sentient beings in the universe. Let us take this moment to seek forgiveness in this Buddha Sasana in front of Supreme Buddhas. By forgiveness, what we mean is we understand that those unwholesome deeds are wrong deeds that should not be conducted, and we are correcting ourselves to become a better version of ourselves, understanding our faults, moving forward, being a better version of ourselves. Let us take this opportunity to seek forgiveness from all the sentient beings in the universe whom we have hurt and harmed in front of Supreme Buddhas, seeking the forgiveness in Buddha Sasana. Let's accept this by reciting Sadhu 3 times again.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
So today, we thought of discussing some basics in meditation and any problems that you might be having in the practical meditation. And we'll start with actually questions. Is there any questions regarding meditation?
Actually, I have a lot of questions, Bante. So
Okay.
can I start first? Or maybe if someone
Sure.
has
No,
questions.
it's better if you start first because you
Okay.
are new.
All right.
So we'll start from the beginning then.
So, Bante, what I really actually want to know is the whole flow, right? So that I'm able to do it correctly. So I think when Bante started the meditation, Bante always start with the gathas, and thank you for sending me the gathas as well. So that would be the first part, right? Where we kind of like think about the Buddha Sangha, the Buddha Dhamma and the Sangha, and kind of like paying homage. Okay, so that is just like the beginning, just to open up our mind, and grateful that we are actually able to learn all this, right? Am I right to say that?
Yeah, in a way you are correct. Yeah, we'll add to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Bante, if you don't mind, I just want to share the document.
Okay.
So I sent a request to Bante. Just want to make sure the flow. Bante, are you able to see it? Wait, hold on, yeah.
Are you screen sharing or doing something?
Yes. May I
to screen share, I think you need to become a co-host. I need to put you.
Yeah. Are you able to?
Yeah, I'll make you a co-host, and then you will be able to share it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now you will be able to do it.
Okay, Bante, are you able to see my document? It's actually a Word document with lots of words because these are all the chants that Bante has gone through with us. And I think this was actually the first, in the first session where I have actually requested for Bante to send through. So I just want to confirm with Bante again, right, that this would be so-called the basic gatha that we can actually recite at the start of the meditation, and we don't have to change to anything else.
Yeah, actually, it's better if I give you some insight of why we are reciting these gathas before going to the details of these gathas, and to this level, we'll discuss some basic facts why we are actually why we are actually reciting this, and the basis behind it, and actually the basis behind our kind of meditation as well. So it will give you a broader idea of why we are doing this. And most of your questions would already get solved after you listen to the first part.
Yeah, maybe that will be great. Bante, maybe you run through kind of like the general flow. Then I definitely have questions in between.
Yeah, okay, sure. So it's like this. So now this meditation practice is to complete the RA pathway, which we have already seen. So initial part is like understanding anicca, dukkha, anatta. So when somebody has known anicca, dukkha, anatta, they have seen the reality of this world. They have seen that this world is not worth continuing. The existence is not worth continuing. And they have understood that, okay, the only option is attaining Nibbana or getting out of this existence. So they know this, but initial understanding is there. But the problem is they still get attached to things. They still have raga, they still have dosa. Or in other words, they still have attachments and they still have conflict. So those two needs to be tamed or disciplined through other means. And that is where the meditation comes. So we have understood that the world is of anicca, dukkha, anatta nature, but still our practical pathway does not reflect what we understand. So it needs to be, it should be practiced, or it should be done again and again and again to get it correct. So that what we do is we kind of like we condense the understanding that we have into a structure that is called a kammattan. So we say, for example, we can say eyes are of anicca nature, dukkha nature, anatta nature. Letting go is the option, something like that. Nibbana is the option. Nibbana is the only option. So that condenses the whole idea of Dhamma to few sentences, and that becomes a kammattan. So the one kammattan is loka is essenceless, Nibbana is full of essence. That's a kammattan. So loka is the world is essenceless, and Nibbana is full of essence. That might just look like two phrases. But when somebody has the understanding and has contemplated on these two sentences or phrases, it actually start making sense, and it will actually start working inside the person. So that is the basis behind kammattan. So what we do in meditation is we focus on the kammattan. We keep attention. Now, most of the people, since there are various meditation techniques in the world, especially in the East, there are many meditation techniques. With regard to Hinduism, there are meditation techniques, and all sorts of other religious practices also have meditation techniques. And there's Arya meditation and Anarya meditation. In most of the Arya meditation is the meditation that we practice, which is the meditation unique to Buddha Sasana. And Anarya meditation has a unique characteristic which we can see, and that can be seen in all the Anarya meditation. And we'll discuss the differences between Arya meditation and Anarya meditation so that you will be able to understand why Arya meditation is so unique and different from all the other meditation types. The first reason is actually when you have in Anarya meditation, you have to have some kind of focus. That is the basic characteristic of Anarya meditation. You have to have a focus, either breathing, either you have to focus on fire, or you have to focus on a dot at least, or you have to focus on some kind of sound. That is the basis behind Anarya meditation, where you actually focus on something. and then you focus on that thing. And when the attention or the mind wanders to another object, or mind goes to another thought, then what happens is, as soon as we develop mindfulness, we suddenly put force into our mind and tries to get our focus back onto our original breathing, or focusing on the dot or something like that. So we have a primary focus. We bring back our focus to our original object, which was maybe like breathing. Let's take breathing for example. So you keep on focusing on breathing, and then something more valuable comes. Let's say, what is for dinner? Who is knocking at the door? Something like that. So that is more valuable than focusing on breathing at that point. So our mind wanders to that thought and start wandering in that thought, thinking, okay, who is knocking at the door at this time? Is it my sister? Is it my mother, father? Who is at the door? And why is he knocking so aggressively? So thoughts like that. Oh, my sister is in the house, so she will answer the door, so I don't have to go. So likewise, our mind would wander, and then we'll suddenly realize, okay, what am I doing? I'm thinking about something else. Now I have to get my focus back on breathing, and then we'll come back. So it's like you are attaching to something to develop the meditation. What is the attachment? The primary focus is the attachment, breathing here. Breathing is where we get attached. And attaching to something to get rid of other attachment is not the pathway the Supreme Buddha explained. So it is something else. So that is why Anahara meditation is so different from Arya meditation, where people actually focus on something initially, and that focus is what brings them or develops the samadhi for them. So initially, when they start doing this, it's very hard. It's not very practical as well. It's very hard, and if you do a lot of effort, maybe some way or the other, it might have a little bit of a result. But still, it cannot be maintained. It doesn't have long-term effects. If you practice it for like 10 days, 15 days straight, then you will have effects. But if you stop doing it, then you will lose all of it as well. So it cannot be maintained for a longer period of time. And then the other problem is it always creates suffering, because it has a lot of failure. Failure rate is so high. So we are going to get rid of suffering doing meditation, but on top of that, we are creating suffering because we are meditating. So that is what happens usually when somebody is meditating. There's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of failure, and that creates a lot of conflict in the mind. And we entered meditation to get rid of failure, get rid of suffering and disappointment. But the meditation we entered itself is creating disappointment. That is the normal Anahara meditation. So in Arya meditation, what we do is the quite opposite of that. So we have to understand why our mind wanders. To understand the Arya meditation, we have to understand how our mind works. Our mind acts like it is actually like a glue or a gum that attaches to things. So let's say we are watching some kind of TV show or movie for 2 hours. So when we are watching a movie for 2 hours, our mind is just not going out of that movie. It stays. It's just a meditation technique. And think about you driving. If we drove for like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, all those hours, our meditation practice was on point. If it was like out of, if it goes, our meditation breaks, then we'll meet with an accident, especially in a fast expressway or something. The meditation practice is very powerful, and we never learn to meditate, but still our focus is so high. And in when we are watching a movie, it's still the same. Why does this happen? And why does it goes the other way around when it comes to our usual conventional meditational practice? It's not easy in that case, and it needs a lot of practice in that case. But for a driver, it doesn't need practice. It doesn't go to meditation practice to become a driver. People doesn't go to meditation practice to watch a movie, but still there's concentration very well maintained throughout and very strong as well. Sometimes even if somebody calls our name or taps on the shoulder, our samadhi or our concentration doesn't break even at that point, because that is so powerful. And why is that? The answer is very simple. The value is the reason why the concentration doesn't break. The value given to life, value given to the vehicle, and value given to our others' lives are very high. So that is why a driver would have so much attention, so much focus when driving. If that was like a computer game where we would drive, we will have a lot of accidents in the computer game, because the value is lesser, concentration is lesser, our attention is lesser. So that is the reason. So the thing is, when we are doing meditation, think about breathing. The value given to breathing, focus on breathing, is very less. And everything else is more valuable than that. I mean, thinking about who is knocking at the door, the sound of, or the barking sound of the dog, maybe thinking about what is for dinner, all of that it goes above the level of value that is given for breathing. So that is why even each and every stimulus that comes to mind would actually break our concentration or samadhi. So the more value when the more value is given to the object or the object of focus, the higher the concentration would be. So I would say when somebody is practicing Arya meditation, that is the technique that we use. So one is, when you use anicca dukkha anatta, the value given to the worldly things would go down. When the value given to the worldly things go down, in one way, it is working. And on the other hand, value given to Dhamma becomes higher and higher. So in two ways, it solves the problem. One is the primary focus is Dhamma here. So value given to Dhamma becomes higher and higher. And on the other hand, value given to the world becomes lesser and lesser. So one day, gradually what happens, when the gap between the value given to the focus, primary focus, is higher, and when the value given to the world is lesser, the stronger the samadhi would be. I think you understand what I am saying, right?
So Bhante, let me just summarize. I think what Bhante is saying is that we would actually have difficulty in focusing on our breath. Just take breath as an example, right? Which I fully agree, because I did try that. So it's not easy to keep your focus on the breath. And the reason why is because of the value that we're actually giving to the breath. Is that correct? Which is not as high as the value that we are giving to the movies, right?
Yeah.
Comparatively.
So it will break the samadhi as soon as a more valuable thing comes to the mind.
Yeah. So other valuable things, what our mind feels is more valuable than the breath will come to our mind, right?
Yeah, of
and
course.
they will actually appear as so-called our thoughts. Am I right?
Yeah.
That means all the thoughts are coming in, which you will give more value, and that is the reason why we have difficulty.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Bhante said that when we focus on anicca, dukkha, and anatta, right? That means we would actually reduce the value that we give to worldly things, right? And hence, this will actually help us with our samadhi.
Yeah.
Am I right to say?
Actually, what happens is, when you are focusing on anicca dukkha anatta, the value given to the worldly things reduce. So whatever the stimulus coming to our mind is something related to the world. So when it is lesser, so the ability for that stimulus to break the samadhi also becomes less. And the more we see Dhamma, the more value we see in Dhamma. So the value given to the primary focus, like in the other case it was breathing, but in this case it was the kammatana. So value given to the kammatana becomes higher and higher. So when the value becomes higher in one hand, and on the other hand, since the value the value given to the stimulus that actually is coming to break the focus is lesser, since both are actually working hand in hand, actually the gap becomes bigger and bigger. And when the gap is bigger, we feel like our samadhi is more powerful than before. I mean, it feels like that is how we feel it. So I'll give you an example of how it happens. So I'll give you the example of metta. So metta is the opposite of dosa. So what is dosa like? Dosa is like anger, hate, revenge. All those words can be put under the umbrella term of dosa. So dosa is a bad kind of emotion that will actually imbalance our mind and body into something of fiery nature. It's like fire. It's like burning sensation. Even when somebody is in too much angry, when somebody is having angry emotion, that person would feel that the face is red, and the ears are burning, heart is burning, blood pressure is high, pulse rate is high, and the body is like very tense, and it's very uncomfortable. It's not a pleasant feeling. But when it comes to metta, it's the opposite of that. So we usually in either dosa state or neutral state. Unless we have actually practiced metta, people even don't know what that feeling is like, because it's the total opposite of dosa. We have never experienced metta unless we have practiced metta meditation, usually, because we know dosa. We know what it feels like. We know how the heart rate increases. We know how our body becomes tense and our face looks ferocious when we are angry. But we have not known what the opposite is like. So what opposite is actually like, when somebody is having metta mindset, actually the blood pressure reduces, heart rate reduces, face becomes so more pleasant, and the redness of the face goes away and it becomes more yellowish, and you feel cooled down. Instead of you feeling that there are some kind of fire burning inside the chest, instead of that you feel there's an AC inside you, or air conditioner inside you, cooling down your whole body. So that is the opposite of dosas. Those are the effects of metta. So when somebody is practicing metta, these are the qualities that would be generated in the body, not in the mind. Mind helps the changes in the body as well. So what happens when somebody says, okay, this is the basic message in metta. So for all the sentient beings, this world, including myself, all the sentient beings, including myself, this world is of suffering nature. This world is of anicca, dukkha, anatta nature, and they are burning in raga, fire of dosa, fire of moha, and all this burning and suffering is due to avijja. And they have no idea that this world is of essenceless nature, and they are going after this blissfulness of the world. And I have a little bit of understanding of how the world works, and I know that only solution is nibbana. So I wish me and all the sentient beings may attain the blissful nibbana. So that is the basic idea behind metta. So when somebody starts practicing this, when you are saying it, if the metta mindset is not that developed, you will just hear some words. You will not develop the emotion. But gradually, when you are doing vipassana on this and start exploring and using this again and again and again, what happens? You gradually start to develop the feeling of metta. And even physically, you start feeling these changes. And then when you use it more and more, this feeling becomes stronger and stronger. I'll say the opposite with dosa, and then you will understand. When there's an angry person and he thinks about maybe the enemy of him, again and again, all the bad things that he did, all the unwholesome things that were done towards him, when he thinks about that, the anger it's proliferating inside. It's becoming more and more. So the same technique is used in a reverse manner in metta. So instead of we saying, okay, this person tried to kill me, because of this person I lost my job, because of this person I lost my family, he slandered about me, and he's actually a very bad person, like this, like that. And if we start doing this kind of meditation, our anger will proliferate inside us and we'll feel like killing this person. That is because this is kind of the dosa meditation. So instead of doing dosa meditation, we do metta meditation. That is the opposite. And we say, all the sentient beings, including myself, may get freed from sansaric suffering. Sansaric, then we say sansaric disease of sansara, flames of sansara, fire of, then there's fear of sansara, burning sansara, sorrowful sansara, sansaric rag, bonds of sansara, ocean of sansara, desert of sansara, and then darkness of sansara. All the sentient beings, including myself, may attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. That is what we recite again and again. Just like we mentioned about the dosa meditation, we do the opposite because we don't have that kind of feeling inside us. We are trying to develop that feeling gradually using a template called a kammatthana. So we recite it again and again to develop the emotion inside us. So that is what we actually do. So when we do it gradually, what happens? The metta mindset becomes so powerful. So think about anger. When the person is angry, he can't think about anything else other than that person who did wrong to him. Just like that. So the external stimuli is not breaking his dosa samadhi. Think about it. So the dosa samadhi, the value given to dosa is so powerful, because now he has done dosa meditation. Another thought cannot come and break the samadhi and get him out of dosa. It's like you are stuck with dosa. So that is the exact opposite when it comes to metta. So we practice metta, and the metta mindset becomes more and more powerful. And other things like who is knocking at the door and who is barking and what is happening, all those things cannot break the samadhi, because the metta mindset is so powerful and the emotion is so powerful. The samadhi is so strong because of that. And that is, again, then you are actually reciting that the world is essenceless, Nibbana is blissful, may all the worldly beings, including myself, may attain Nibbana. So in a way, you are actually saying the world is essenceless. So the stimuli that is coming to us actually belongs to the world. So in an indirect way, actually, it is reducing the value given to the worldly things as well. So the value of the stimulus also goes down. So in that way, we develop powerful samadhi, not only during the samadhi, but since this is drived with vipassana and panya, this stays throughout the day, throughout our life. So this is a very practical method of meditation that can be incorporated to our lives, which is which actually reduces the suffering rather than increasing the suffering with regard to meditation. If we do it correctly, what we do is this. So, and the other point is, when we are practicing meditation, we are, as we said, we are not lashing onto something. So in the first one, we lashed onto breathing. We are attached to breathing. And as soon as something else was coming into mind, we attached to that. We are attached to that. And as soon as we realize that we are attached to that, we forcefully remove the attachment and get our attachment back to breathing, our primary focus. That is what we do. As soon as we are attached to something else, we forcefully get our attention, mind back to our primary focus. That is what we do with normal meditation. So it's a very, very tiring process because we are forcing the mind to do it. So in Arya meditation, we don't do it. We have a primary focus, and it says nothing is worth attaching to. Even the kammatthana is not worth attaching to. Nothing in this world, including smells, images, sounds, smells, tastes, touches, and thoughts. All of them are not worth attaching to. So when somebody understands that, he is not even attaching to the kammatthana. He is reciting it. It's like some water droplet on a lotus leaf. It's just on the leaf, but it's not attached to the leaf. So as soon as another thought comes, naturally what happens, since our focus and understanding is not to the maximum level, we'll get attached naturally. As soon as we get attached, we are now, this is very crucial to understand, that we are not forcefully getting our attention back to the kammatthana. Instead, we are putting the kammatthana to the problem or the focus. Why? We have to think like this. Why did my focus break? That is because this stimulus is more valuable than my own kammatthana that I am reciting. So is it really valuable? Now we are putting the kammatthana to the stimulus itself, which actually broke the samadhi. So it will make us understand, no, it is not valuable. And it is now again inside, we are inside the vipassana again. We are now realizing, okay, there's no point in actually focusing on this stimulus. Let's say somebody is, let's say we are thinking about something like maybe a dress that we saw by the side of the road when we are traveling, when we are walking down the when we are walking to our home or apartment. We saw a nice clothing store and we saw a garment which was on display, and we thought, okay, that was very beautiful. And in the meditation, that is what came back into our mind when we are reciting the kammatthana. We are saying that images of anicca, dukkha, anatta nature, and this came, and now without even knowing, we are thinking about the dress. As soon as we realize this, now what we do is actually we realize, okay, so the images of anicca, dukkha, anatta nature, but for my mind, this garment or this outfit is more valuable than the kammatthana. Why? Then we are actually putting the Dhamma to the problem itself at the point. So we are actually taking the stimulus as the primary focus now and putting the Dhamma there and saying, okay, this is an image. This is of anicca, dukkha, anatta nature. Why should I get attached? So the attachment like this, which actually initially was created, would actually detach itself through Dhamma. And it'll be like this. And then again, we'll be reciting the kammatthana, and again another thing will come and we'll attach to that. And then we should repeat the same thing. And when we repeat the same thing, it will become released again. And when we start doing this, gradually what happens? Our mind will become still. Our mind will become less agitated. It's like a water basin, a bucket of water, and there's drops of water falling on the water surface, breaking its silence, creating waves. And as soon as we stop putting, water droplets, it's not going to stop. Why? Already created waves are actually going to go and reflect in the, reflect backwards, and, it will create turbulence or agitation for quite some time, like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and then only it is going to settle. So we have to do this kind of for few hours, maybe few minutes, and then it is going to settle. And then we have samadhi. And it will sometimes, for some people, it takes months. But it is going to work, because we are not going to force our mind to do anything, but we are watching where the mind goes instead of focus. That's why the word focus is not going to be the correct word here. Instead of the word focus, we have to replace the word focus with attention. We have to have attention about what our mind is doing. And when it is doing something wrong, we apply Dhamma there, and then it becomes Dhamma again. And then we are keeping our attention to our mind. Okay, what is happening in our mind? Okay, now another thing came, and I am getting attached to it. So we put Dhamma there again. And then again Dhamma works, and then we are released. So we are not forcefully kind of like manipulating the mind to focus on something else. That is Anarya meditation. In Arya meditation, we are using Dhamma to see the reality. Even in our mind, it's the same thing. Now our eyes are closed, ears are mostly not getting anything because we are in a quiet place. Our body is in a still stance, so body, the smell, taste, touch also is not activated at that point. So all the five senses are kind of like physically blocked. But the mind is very active. So mind is what actually giving us various stimulus. And based on this stimulus, our mind starts wandering here and there. But using Dhamma as the primary focus and reciting the Kammatthana is actually what we do to initiate the value, to increase the value that is given to Dhamma. So when the value given to Dhamma is more and more increased, and it'll create stronger samadhi. On the other hand, when the value given to the worldly things are lesser and lesser, it'll create more samadhi. So that is the basis behind our practice. I hope everybody is clear.
Yeah, Bante, I think generally I get it. Just Bante, just to be very specific, so just now your example, I just need to clarify again. Let's just say we are reciting the Kamata, right? And then some thought come to our mind, like for example, the outfit. Let's just take this example, is the outfit example. So if I may be thinking about wanting to go and shop for this outfit because I happen to see it and I like it, right? And
Yeah.
it actually pop up to my mind. So at that point of time, right? At that point of time, I should be asking myself, right? Why am I giving this outfit more value than what I'm reciting? Is that what I should be doing?
Actually, that is a way, that is how I presented it. But the point is, why the worldly thing is more valuable? Why is this worldly thing more valuable than Dhamma? Right? It is a
Okay.
worldly thing.
So that means we should be questioning ourselves. Is that right,
I
Bante?
mean, it's not like questioning, but we will just understand it as soon as it happens. It has happened, right? We don't have to question ourselves like that.
Yeah,
But when it happens, we will realize, okay, for me, this is more valuable for me than the Dhamma. That is why it is happening. So we don't have to question, just we have to then straight away focus on the object or the stimulus that actually broke our samadhi. And then see, actually, is it really valuable? Like that, we can do the vipassana. It's just me telling you how to think. I mean, you don't have to think in that specific way, like questioning yourself. You don't need that part, but you just have to understand that, okay, this stimulus that came to my mind actually is so powerful, it will break my samadhi. So actually, I should reduce the value that is given to this worldly thing by doing vipassana. So that is the meaning. That is the basis behind this.
Okay. So that means we have to actually keep doing it, not just in meditation, but even in our daily life.
Exactly. So it can be incorporated to our daily life as well. So meditation is like I would say it's like if somebody is a swordsman, he has to go to war, and he has to go to war. He needs a place to, practice sword practice. You have to have a place to practice it. So meditation is like practicing. It's like a dedicated environment that is tailor-made for our own needs, that is that has more focus and peace, so that we can do deep meditation or deep practice of sword fighting. And when we are on the field, when we are actually fighting the enemy, like when we are actually dealing with the world, we might not have that kind of ability to practice. No, at that point, it's just either you die or either you win. But when you're at home, when you have the time, you can actually practice sword fighting, which will actually help you in the field. That is meditation.
Okay. Got it, Bante. That's a good analogy. So Bante, then I think I understand the basics of the Kammatthana, right? It's really for us to improve on our samadhi. That is actually a tool for us. And if any thoughts come in, right, you should if we are aware of that thought, then we should be realizing for ourselves, or we should be kind of like throw a question to ourselves, is why am I putting this this stimulus on a higher value than my kammatthana.
Yeah, actually, it's obvious that it has a higher value because it has broken the samadhi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then in my daily life, when I'm not meditating, if such kind of thoughts actually appear, I should also kind of like question, so-called like not deep questioning, but just when you realize it, why am I putting
The
so
thing
much
is,
value
if
on
you
it?
start practicing this meditation for some time, then it will be natural for you to happen, for it to happen even even outside the meditation. So it's
That's
kind of
great.
like incorporated into your practice. Oh, this is sometimes, not all the time, because sometimes those stimulus are very powerful. We don't even realize that we are thinking about those things. But at least after some time, then you will look back, and when you are kind of like what do you call revising or revisiting what happened during the day, then you will realize, okay, that at that time on that day this happened, and it was like I didn't even realize. Now only I am realizing that it was this what happened. So the more the samadhi becomes stronger, and more the sati or the mindfulness becomes stronger, the person would be able to detect it earlier and apply Dhamma earlier.
Okay. So Bante, that means our object for our meditation practice will always be our kammatthana, right?
Yeah.
Our chosen kammatthana. So
the thing is, kammatthana is actually a structure that was aligned to think in a certain way. So it's like your own Dhamma understanding put into several sentences or several phases. So that is a kammatthana. So that is one way of doing it. That is not the only way. That is why I'm going to tell this. There's another way called manasikara, where it's freestyle. You just focus on vipassana, and when there's vipassana, there's no shape. You can think in different ways. Okay, this is anicca like this is dukkha like this is anatta like this, so I should not get at. So there's no specific structure to think. You just think with Dhamma. That is vipassana. So vipassana meditation with kammatthana is one style which suits some people. Vipassana meditation without kammatthana, where there's no structure, you are freestyling, is another technique or another style which we can also do as meditation. So these are two techniques which we can incorporate to our practice, and one is not superior to the other. It depends on each person's ability, or the indriya differences, or the preferences actually.
So Bante, the one that I've been through, where Bante go through the Gatha and then go through the qualities of the Buddha, and then go through the Metta, right? And then I think also one session, Bante also went through the 5 aggregates.
Yeah.
Right?
So I'll tell you why we are doing it. We are doing it because there are different individuals in the meditation program listening to meditation and doing meditation. So each person's indriya, or the organs, Shraddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya, are different. So if we recited one kammatthana for the whole day, like for 2 hours, that is the original way of doing it when you are doing it alone. But if we do it here, then what will happen is one would be practicing Dhamma in a very efficient manner, and one would be thinking, oh, this kammatthana is not for me, it doesn't fit me. So that is why we have a mix of everything, so that everybody is getting an idea of, okay, this is good for me, that is good for me. So it's like this platform is actually to help you to it's like a guidance. It's not how we do it on an individual basis. So on an individual basis, I would say, okay, we tailor-made this kammatthana structure according to our need. Something like, okay, we have some Buddha at the Visancha, maybe at the beginning, and maybe a little bit of Buddha Guna, and then our Metta, or whatever the kammatthana that we feel fit for us. Then we recite it throughout maybe 1.5 hours, 1 hour, and then end it with some kind of aloka kammatthana if you want it. Otherwise, you can end it there. It depends on each person's preference. So we are actually created this combination so that each and every person can understand this is what suits me the most.
Understand. Now I get it, Bhante, because when Bhante go from the qualities of Buddha to Metta, I was kind of like thinking it's kind of different.
Yeah,
To me,
but
it's different.
you need all those abilities to spread metta, to focus on Buddha guna or the qualities of Buddha, and then to actually focus on vipassana. So you need all those qualities. So those are called the four great forces, right? The infantry, and then you have the what do you call that in English? I don't know. The horseback. When the cavalry, cavalry, infantry, and then there's machinery, and final one is actually so elephants, cavalry, infantry, and machinery. So those are the four great forces to a king. So just like that, Mettanusati, Buddhanusati, Asubhanusati, and Marananusati. Those are the four.
These are the four. Okay.
So now we are incorporating in the initial part, it's Buddhanusati, then there's Mettanusati, then in the meditation part where there's Vipassana, sometimes there's Asubhanusati or Vipassana, and then at the end we have Aloka Kammatthana, which is also was a cleansing process of the body, because body and mind are connected. When we do Samadhi, actually our body tries to align to the Samadhi nature. So if you do deep meditation, you will feel like your body is trying to adjust to the Samadhi, right? Because it's like this. When we are focusing on the external world with where we search for sensual pleasures through eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body. When we do that, what happens is our nervous system aligns in a specific way to actually to get these pleasures. So our eye is kind of like the nervous system. This is not the physical nervous system, but the finer nervous system, which is connected with the astral body. It is changing in a certain way to actually facilitate those images. But when we are actually focusing on Dhamma, what happens? It's like totally opposite. We say that sensual pleasures are bad and the letting go is blissful. So we are saying something totally opposite. And what happens is our nervous system is now trying to adjust to that. So it's like unwinding. It says that our nervous system is like two and a half times twisted to one side because of raga, dosa, moha, because of attachment to sensual pleasures. And what happens when we are practicing Dhamma is it starts unwinding, like it goes like this. Gradually it unwinds. And when it is unwinding, it's trying to actually facilitate our samadhi more and more. Our body is trying to facilitate our samadhi. Our samadhi is trying to facilitate our body to align in a certain way. So that is what actually helps us to enter a jhana. Jhana is purely due to the body. Samadhi is purely due to the mind. So they come together to create the jhana actually. So then what happens is the body starts cleansing. It removes all the toxins. It removes all the byproducts of raga, dosa, moha through various means, through urine, through feces, and through even vomiting for sometimes, and through tears, through sweat. It's going out, and through breathing mostly. And then what happens is it is trying to align. And this aligning process is facilitated by the final Aloka Kammatthana, where we focus on light. Because our original form is light. If you have gone through the Aggañña Sutta, we are coming from Brahmas. So we are actually descendants of Brahma. So Brahma Kalpita humans. So Brahma-like humans. So Brahma-like humans had illuminated bodies or bodies made of light. So we have that ability to potential to go back to that state. So that is why we are focusing on light. So Buddha Surya Aloka means the sunlight of Buddha. Aloka Vetva means may it get illuminated, something like that, through the light of Supreme Buddha. So when we say that with emotion, when we say that with raw power, actually it affects our body to cleanse and then it gradually will cleanse back to its normal original state, which is the Brahma Kalpita or Brahma-like human nature. So that is a energy body that we are actually developing. So if you have seen these old lamps where there is a chimney, like a chimney with a glass cover, and if we increase the flame to a certain level, it creates a layer of soot, blackening the what you call the transparent nature of the glass in the old lamp, right? So the same thing happens with raga, dosa, moha. When we increase the flame, the raga and dosa and moha, it becomes so black and it creates a lot of soot. And the flame is actually inside, but we can't see it. We have to cleanse the soot or remove the soot gradually using this kind of kammatana. Then the flame would be, vibrant and elegant again. It will be shown again. The vibrant nature and the elegant nature of the human capacity would be shown.
Okay.
The true nature.
Bhante, I got it now. I understand. But Bhante, now the actual practice, right? The actual practice. So when let's just say we take Buddha Nusati, which we recite the qualities of the Buddha. So Bhante will always do like one quality maybe about 15 times. I think I calculated.
I don't know the amount of I don't know. I actually don't count. I just go with the flow. So that is because when we feel like we should not have a number in our head, right? Because if we have a number in our head, it becomes some kind of work.
Oh yeah.
It should be very free, and we should listen to our mind and body. That's what we should do. And when we feel like, okay, now it's time to change, and then it should be changed.
Okay, got it. So Bhante,
and you feel it actually when to change.
Okay. So no need to count. Then Bhante, let's just say I take Arahant, Namo Arahant. So we have to recite it loud. Am I right to say that?
Yeah, you have to recite it properly with correct pronunciation. Otherwise, it will not create the effect. Arahant, Samma Sambuddho. It's not do, but do.
Do.
And it should come from the throat. Do.
From the throat. Okay.
Yeah. Samma Sambuddho. Then
Sambuddho.
Vijja Charana Sampanno.
Vijja Charana Sampanno.
Yeah. Sugato.
Sugato.
Lokavidu.
Lokavidu.
Yeah, it's like lo is like it's longer than that. Lokavidu.
Lokavidu.
Yeah, exactly. So then the next one is Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati.
Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati.
Sarati. Sa is like long.
Sarati.
Yeah, Sarati. Yeah, Sarati. So then Sattha. So it comes from the throat again. Sattha.
Sattha.
Deva Manusanam.
Deva Manusanam.
Nam.
Oh, nam.
Not nam. The mouth, the lips doesn't come together. Nam.
Oh,
it comes through the nose.
What
yeah, it's a little difficult. It's not Sattha Deva Manusanam. So in nam, your lips come together. It goes like your tongue goes and hits your palate, and the airflow comes through your nose when you say nam.
Sattha Deva Manusanam.
Nam. Yeah, it comes through the nose. It comes through the sinuses.
Okay, I try.
Yeah. But when you get used to it, it becomes very easy. Initial days, it will be a little harder because you have never recited it in this kind of way. But with time, it will become very easy. In the initial days, you have to put a little bit of effort.
Yeah.
Then Sattha Deva Manusana. Then Buddho again comes through the throat.
Buddho.
Right? Yeah, Buddho. So it's like a burst of air with the dho. It's a burst of air coming through the throat.
Buddho.
Exactly. That's it. Buddho, Bhagava. So Bha also it's like that. Not Ba, but Bha. It's also
Bhagava.
coming from the
Bhagava.
throat as a burst of air. Bhagava.
Bhagava.
Yeah. So that those are the sounds. So why this sound is very important? Because this sound has a gati. There's three components that comes together when it is about anything that with regards to sound or quality or image. So let's discuss the dosa mindset again. If somebody is angry and he is using words, we can even understand or sense it even through a phone call, right? We have not seen the person. We have not seen his face or his quality. We are not feeling his quality. But we are hearing his sound and we understand, okay, this person is a little bit angry today or agitated or some kind of, it's not good to continue this kind of conversation for long. We understand that, we get this sense. Why? Because the sound contains the quality. Angry quality is there in the sound. So it actually has the image so these three are interconnected: image, sound, and quality. So if we look at that person, if we're taking a video call, we can see the face. So the image also has changed. Image is changed in such a way the face is like ferocious, it's red and angry. The face is also changed, image is also changed, sound is also changed, quality is also changed. So if it is metta, again, image is also changed. Face is very pleasant. And the sound is also changed. It's very, very kind sound coming out of that mouth. And the quality is also changed. Quality is metta, leads to the image as well as the sound, change of the sound and the image. So likewise, if we create one, it will create the other. For example, if we use harsh words on somebody, even as a joke, sometimes we actually get angry. Why? Sound actually creates the quality and the image. These three are interconnected. If we create one thing, all the other two are created. So here we are creating the sound of Bhagava, and it will create the quality within us. And the face also, the body also change accordingly to the quality of Bhagava. So that is why the sound, the pronunciation is very important. So if we do not pronounce it correctly, it will not have the full effect. It will at least have a certain effect, but it will not have the full effect. So we create the sound, Bhagava, and it will create the quality within us, and our body and mind also would change accordingly, because it's connected. The image, sound, and quality are interconnected things. It's like a triangle. If we create one angle, all the other three angles are created. So something like that. So then having an understanding about the quality itself is also important, because then we are creating the quality and it will make ourselves to get the correct sound out of our system. Because if we have the correct quality, then it will create the correct sound, right? Because it goes the other way around as well. And then what is the real meaning of araha? Raha means taste. Araha means tasteless. So the world is of tasteless nature. So that quality is highest in Supreme Buddha. He knows that the whole world is of tasteless nature. So according to our understanding, we know tasteless nature to a certain degree, depending on our understanding. So that is araha. So I will just tell you the brief explanation of each word. Otherwise, we'll not be able to finish it. It will be another huge discussion of 2 hours.
I have actually seen a bit of your video. It's just that I have not finished.
Okay. Since you have also seen it, then we'll go through a very brief explanation. Samma Sambuddho. Samma is like Sang is Ragadosa Moha. Ma is like elimination of Ragadosa Moha. That is what leads to Bhava, or the continuation of various happenings. So continuation of various happenings is due to Ragadosa Moha. So that is again Sang Bhava. Buddha means removal. So that is again, if you compile all of them together, it's like eliminating Ragadosa Moha to eliminate Bhava. So that is the meaning of that. And Vijaya is like the true Dhamma, opposite of avijja, Vicca. Charana means so Vichacharana Sampanno is something like you are inside that quality, or you are the living embodiment of that quality, something like that. So Vichacharana Sampanno, Sugato is like the bliss. Suha means bliss, Gata means you are entering bliss, something like that. Loka Vidu means, Loka means like the world, Vidu means Vipassana. So you have seen the world through Vipassana, or we are seeing the world through Vipassana. The reality of the world is Loka Vidu. Then Anuttara Dhammasarthi is taming of the mind, taming of one's own mind. That is when one's own mind is tamed, Raga, Dosa, and Moha would not be issues anymore. So that is it. So that is Anuttara Dhammasarthi. And then there are Saptadeya Manusana, above all the beings, all the Brahmas, all the gods, and all the humans. Because this quality, when you acquire it, you are not fearful anymore, even to death. But all the beings are fearful for death. All the beings are fearful of losing what they love or like. So that is not there in an Arihat. So Asatthadeya Manusana. Buddho is elimination of this sansaric journey or rebirth cycle. Buddho. Bhagava is division and seeing. Divide and see the illusion. So that is Bhagava. So this is just the brief explanation of the 9 qualities. So we recite them with the understanding, a little bit of understanding. This much of understanding would be enough. It's like you focus on the front direction, right? Front direction goes towards the infinity. Right direction, left direction, and the backwards. If you go, you can go towards infinity. But you have to at least know where to go. So we can say, okay, go towards this direction, but it will not be an ending journey. It's an endless journey. So we can go as far as we want, and we will understand it more. It will be like if we have gone 100 kilometers towards that direction, that person has more experience than the person who has only gone 1 kilometer. If somebody has gone like 1 million kilometers towards that direction, he would have more understanding about the direction than the person who has gone 100 kilometers. But still, it will be impossible to know everything because the direction is infinite.
Okay, Bhante. Thank you very much. I got one more. Can I ask one more?
Yeah,
Bhante?
sure.
The one that I have been thinking, like when you say that you want to focus on the sentient beings on the right, or whether it's on the left, or front, back, and all that, right?
Okay.
Supposed to come to our mind.
Okay, so there's 2 methods that we can actually focus on. There's not one is actually focusing on each direction, actually literally focusing on the direction. So it takes some time for a person to develop that ability to focus on directions. Initially, it's very hard, but gradually you get the ability to actually focus on the front direction and the side, 2 sides, like front and 2 sides, right?
Okay.
And then left and the 2 sides, and behind and 2 sides.
I see it as 180 degrees, right, Bhante?
It's like
no.
It's like let's say 90 degrees like this towards this direction. Is if I draw it out, I don't know whether I can draw it. I'll try to turn on what do you call this? What is there? This we have the whiteboard, right? So I'll show you. I'll try to write it down here. Okay, so if the person is like, okay, it takes some time to.
Yeah, it's not loading yet.
Okay, now it's loaded. Okay, now this is the person. This is the front direction.
Bhante, I can't see anything. It's nothing on the board. Yes, got it.
It takes some time to, I think, load. So anyway, so this is front direction, and these are the 2 sides, like these 2 sides.
Okay.
And then this is the right direction, and these are the 2 sides.
All right, got it.
And back direction, and these are the 2 sides again, and the same follows to the other one as well. So two sides, and then up and down. I can't write it out here. It's like up and down in a horizontal plane, if you think about it. So it covers the whole thing. It's like 360. It's a globe. It's like a globe.
Understand.
Okay, now I'll get this out of the picture. So that is one way of doing it. Now, this is for some individuals, but there's another one which we can use, which is called the Vipassana way. This is Samatha or Samadhi pathway. And there's another way that we can use, which is Vipassana pathway. And how that is going to work out is front direction is everyone that is going towards front. That is Nibbana. Everyone who has understood Dhamma. So front is like, in Sinhala it's called Peradiga. Peradiga is like the east. East is where the sun comes up. So sun is Panya, in a way. So when we put it into English, it's like front. So if you go towards front, that's a good thing. If you go backwards, that's a bad thing. So going front is actually a good thing. So going front is like understanding Dhamma and getting attached to Dhamma. So Sattva, all the sentient beings are Sattva. Sat means good. The beings that think the world is good are called Sattva. So Sattva, the beings that are attached to Dhamma and this Aryapathe, so they also need to drop that to become Arihat. So they and people or the beings who are in line with that kind of thought is the sides. Either side is that. So focus on all the beings who are in front is everyone who is focusing on, who are in the Aryapathe. And on the either side means who are in line with that kind of thinking pattern. So then everybody who is in the right means who are doing the right thing. That means wholesome things, good things. Like the gods, like the deities and good people actually who will become deities in the future. So that is the right side. Who thinks that the world is right and continue to do these kind of things and continue the samsaric journey. They will not drop this samsaric, they will not drop this wrong ideology and will continue becoming deities and again thinking that this is the good that needs to be done in this world. That is the right side. And everyone who is aligning to that kind of thinking is either side of the right. Right? So then backwards, behind, what is behind? Everyone who is doing 10 akusala, they are going backwards. They are doing something wrong. They are doing something that is not acceptable. That is going backwards. So that is behind. And everyone who is thinking that this is the correct way of acceptable things to do, that is either side of the back. Then there's left side. What is left? We call that, okay, he left. Where did he leave to? To the Brahma world. Everyone who is leaving this karma world is left. They are leaving. They left. We say, okay, they left the karma world. So everyone who is practicing jhana and everyone who thinks that jhana is the best outcome, that is nibbana. They think that jhana is nibbana. So some people think that Dhamma is Nibbana, which is wrong. Actually, Dhamma is the pathway to Nibbana, should not get attached to Dhamma as well. And that happens only in an Arihat. So everybody who is up until Arihat is included in the front direction. And everyone who thinks that Nibbana is the right side, which is wholesome thing is the Nibbana. Wholesome things is what need. It is our satisfaction. It is our salvation. Doing wholesome thing is the good thing. That is, they are also in wrong thinking. Everyone who thinks, okay, 10 akusala is Nibbana. 10 akusala is what we need to do. Those are the backward direction. And then we have people who think jhana pathway is the Nibbana. Everyone who becomes Brahma, everyone who practices first jhana, second jhana, who are in line with that kind of thinking. So left side and either side of the left. That is left side. And then we have downwards and upwards. Downwards are the ones who are in four hells, right? Upwards, because up is like that is the ceiling. After that we don't have to spread metta. whom we are not spreading metta to? We are not spreading metta to arihats, because there's no point in telling, may you attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana, when they have already attained Nibbana. We are not spreading metta to Pacceka Buddhas and Supreme Buddhas. There's no point in. So everyone below that. So above, if we sensibly think what is above, Arihat Magga. Everyone who is in Arihat Magga are above. Below are four hells. Everyone who is in Arihat Magga are above, because they have a teeny tiny bit to complete to get to that level. So we can spread metta to them as well. So including myself, all of those, and it covers everyone in a different manner. So it's like a vipassana way of understanding directions. The first one was a samatha or samadhi way of understanding direction, and the second one is like a vipassana way of understanding directions.
Okay, got it, Bhante.
Okay. So then you can focus on each direction and spread metta. And in each word, you can actually focus. You can use this kammattan initially to do vipassana, because otherwise you will not develop that metta mindset. So for example, I'll give you an example. So when a person sees the world is of very dreadful nature, his metta mindset will become even bigger. His metta mindset will become more powerful. I'll give you an example. It's like this. So there's a small child, and there's some kind of a staircase, or some kind of let's say a stair, and then this small child is going to fall from the stair, but it's very small. It's like 1 or 2 inches height. So the mother would not be that panicky, right? And the mother would be saying, oh, don't go that way and you will fall. And he fell. And I told you will fail. And he's now crying. The mother knows that no harm is going to happen. So that was her response when the stair is like 2 or 3 inches. What if the stair is like 1 feet? Now there's a little bit of concern. Now the mother stops doing the thing that she is doing and just slowly goes to that area and grabs the child and keep the small baby near to her. And what if the child is going to an area where it's like he's going to fall from a 1-story building? Now the mother's response is even faster. What if it was like 100-story building? Mother would forget everything else and run towards the child and grab it. So it's like the same thing. So if the samsara is seen as only 1 feet stair, and then the metta would be a little, less powerful. But when the person's metta, when the person's understanding of the world, the dreadfulness of samsara is becoming more and more powerful, then he will see, or he or she will see that this is so dangerous. I should know that the response would be even more powerful. So when the response is more powerful, the metta mindset would be more powerful. That's why in the initial days, I would say, when somebody is actually spreading metta, focus more on sansaric suffering, sansaric disease of samsara, why it becomes a disease, why it becomes a suffering, why it becomes a fire, why it becomes flames. Why are we saying it is a sorrowful samsara? Why are we saying it is a sansaric raga, sansaric bonds, sansaric desert, sansaric ocean, and sansaric darkness? Why are we saying like that? To do vipassana on those things, and then the height of the stair, or the height which we are going to fall, becomes bigger and bigger. And then after some time, you can focus on, may they get freed. Now that is metta part. May they get freed. So if you start focusing on may they get freed after some time, when you have seen the height where you are going to fall, then actually the metta mindset becomes more powerful. So we can actually practice metta kammattan in 2 different ways. One is predominantly metta, less vipassana, and the other way is predominantly vipassana, less metta. So I would say initially it should be predominantly vipassana, less metta, because anyway we can't spread metta unless we have seen the height difference. So we have to first understand the height difference and see actually we are in dreadful danger. we are in a huge danger. Then as we realize that we are in huge danger, the metta mindset will come naturally. Because when somebody is like going to do something very bad for themselves, and if we know that it is very bad, let's say they are going to do a wrong medical decision or a financial decision, and we are a doctor or a financial expert, and we feel, okay, this person is going to do a blunder and his whole life would be ruined, and I feel so bad for him. But if it was not a doctor, he will not know, okay, we don't think about it, you just do it. We will even say like that. But the doctor knows exactly, okay, this person is going to ruin his life if he take this wrong medical decision. But he has to know to develop that emotion, know many things. So likewise, we have to do vipassana to understand, okay, this is not a good samsara to continue for me and for all the sentient beings, or may all of them attain Nibbana. So
Bhante, sorry, I have to stop you there,
yeah,
because
okay.
What came into my mind was that what Bhante is saying is that vipassana is actually a way to instill the height of samsara, correct?
Yeah,
To instill
of
it
course.
into our mind that
yeah.
samsara is actually very, very, very dangerous. Because I think as a layman, especially like a layman, sometimes you couldn't able to see it for ourselves that it is so dreadful, right? It is so miserable because maybe our life has not been, the suffering has not been that great for us to be able to say that, hey, this life has been so bad, and hence, I really don't want to come back again to this life again and again.
So the thing is, according to the level that we understand, maybe we understand the world is of anicca, dukkha, anatta. Maybe we understand, okay, there is a suffering element to it. So depending on the level we understand, we will spread metta, right? So the more vipassana we do, not even with this kammatthana, there are these other kammatthanas, right? This is not going to be a one-time thing. So we will be doing this again and again and again. So more vipassana kammatthanas that we do would actually help us to see the depth. We will see depth. And when we see depth, more powerful the metta would be. That is the logic behind this.
So, Bhante, is the meditation that you're taking us through, is that the vipassana? Would you consider that as the vipassana part?
Sorry?
The one that you have been leading us? The meditation practice? Is that vipassana? Sorry,
you mean what kammatthana? So it's our kammatthana practice has a lot of components. Like we have metta, we have vipassana. So the middle part is usually vipassana. Like focusing on the
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So we focus on like dhatu, like apo, tejo, vayo, pati, that's vipassana. And maybe focusing on what you call the rupa, vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana, that's vipassana.
Yeah.
So in vipassana is actually seeing the reality of the world. It always has anicca, dukkha, anatta component to it when it is vipassana. But metta might not have anicca, dukkha, anatta component directly in it, but indirectly it's there. Otherwise, we have no way to focus on nibbana.
Got it. All right. So that means, Bhante, the meditation practice is kind of a blend of samadhi and vipassana.
Of course, it's always a blend of samatha and vipassana. You can't practice meditation without samatha or without vipassana. If you actually, you can practice meditation without vipassana, and then the meditation becomes anarya, not arya. If it's arya meditation, you always have both samatha and vipassana.
Okay. I think, Bhante, thank you very much. I think I got the picture of the meditation practice that Bhante has been sharing with us. So thank you very much. I know Bhante maybe need to go for your puja, is it?
No, it's fine. I have some more time actually. So it's fine. If anybody else also having any questions regarding meditation, the meditation that we did so far, anything you want to ask, you also have time actually.
So Bante, if we'll probably wait for a couple of seconds. If not, then I have one more last question
Okay,
for
sure.
Bante.
No, you can ask actually, it's fine.
Okay. I think Bante, I still need to understand when we talk about sentient beings, right? What should be in our mind?
Exactly, that's a very good question. So in English, it's not a very straightforward meaning. So it actually doesn't mean anything at all. But we don't have a word, so we put sentient beings. So that is what happens. So the correct word would be sattva, right? So in Sinhala or in Pali, we use the word sattva. Sattva is actually, the meaning of sattva is when somebody has decided, or drop the word somebody, when a decision has been made that the world is of blissful nature, that's sattva. So it's a decision made by a Rupa Vedana Sanya Sankara Vijnana combination that the world is of blissful nature. What are blissful? Images, sounds, smells, tastes, touches, and thoughts. And the recipients of those external components, eyes, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. If one thinks, drop the word if a thought comes that the world is of blissful nature, in other words, the components that I mentioned are of blissful nature, that's the sattva nature. That's the sattva that we are talking about. If we drop that, then we are not a sattva anymore. You are an arihant.
Okay. Oh, very interesting, Bante.
Yeah.
It's
Dhamma is very
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah. I never thought of it that way. I was thinking maybe like, all living beings.
Yeah, or not all living beings.
In all the realms.
The Supreme Buddha also falls under that, right? A living being. I mean,
Yeah,
he's not dead, he's not passed away. So if he was alive.
Oh.
So it's not the case. It's always, we have to always focus on the problem. Then only the vipassana would be more powerful. If we say like all the living beings, that doesn't actually focus on the problem. The problem is having this wrong thinking pattern, the world is blissful. That is what led to all the suffering. Sang is ragadosamo, sar is thinking that it is blissful. Sangsara is what the decision of sattva. Decision of sattva is sangsara, so good. Sang is so good.
Okay. All right, Bante.
Okay.
And Bante, throughout the meditation, when we are even reciting metta, we just have to, the purpose would be more to develop that kind of emotion that feels compassion for the world, right? And then when we recite the anatta, dukkha, anicca, dukkha, and anatta, that basically is to instill in our mind, right, the depth of samsara.
Yeah, we will in a way. I was talking with regard to the metta meditation about vipassana. So vipassana in general is actually about understanding the reality. I would say reality, or it makes you understand the depth as well. But mainly, it is about understanding the reality of this world and seeing the blissfulness of letting go of this world. So it has two components. It always has two components. One is seeing the fault, and then the second one is seeing the value of the solution. So understanding the problem and seeing the value of the solution. So two sides, which is problem and solution. And in one side we see the problem more and more, and on the other side we see that solution. This is the solution. This is the solution. That means we see that solution is the only solution is the nibbana. So that is what we see on the other side. So that is how our mind should occupy in meditation. I mean in vipassana.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Bante. I think I've taken a lot of your time, so
No, it's fine actually.
but thank you very much, Bante, for all your explanation.
Okay then. Okay, anybody else having any questions?
Yes, Venerable Thero, I also have a question.
Sure.
Yeah, I actually participated in the meditation session. I wanted to ask you a question. How to properly transfer merits and how to properly transfer like the power of Buddha Guna to the people who have deceased or like due to war and suffering.
Okay. So this is the thing. So when you are actually trying to spread Buddha Guna, it's not a very good thing actually.
Okay.
So the reason is, even though, so think of it like this. If we give some kind of Dhamma books, right? And we started distributing Dhamma books to everybody, some might be happy, right? Some might be very happy. Okay, I'm so happy that I got this Dhamma book. I'll go and read. And some might say, "What is this rubbish?" and throw it out, right? So everybody is not responding the same way
Okay.
when it comes to Buddha Guna, especially.
Oh,
So
okay.
there are unseen beings who are not actually, who actually doesn't like Buddha Dhamma. So they don't. They are the Buddha Guna, the rays and the power that is generated through Buddha Guna are actually poisonous and toxic. It's like poisonous for them. It acts as toxins for them. It actually burns them. That's why when you have some kind of like there are pirit threads, which actually is like bands that Buddhists wear on their hand, like here, white pirit threads. So when we chant pirit in and infuse the pirit into the thread, and when we kind of like tie it on some person's hand, some start screaming.
Oh,
Because
really?
if there's an unseen one attached to their body, it starts burning because of the power of this pirit, right?
Oh, I
So it's
never
not good
expected
for
that. Okay.
everybody else. So
Okay.
so that is why we are not actually transferring that kind of energy. So that is why actually we would do a punyanumodana and spread metta to all the beings after reciting Buddha Guna. Because if somebody is hurt, may they also get healed. That is why we say all the beings in suffering may become free of suffering. That is what we are doing at the end. We are actually trying to balance it out without spreading. When we are actually reciting it, it's actually spreading. We can't stop it. It's automatically spreading. So we are at the end. We are saying all the beings in suffering may become free of suffering. All the beings in sorrow may become free of sorrow. All the beings in fear may become free of fear. All the beings may attain blissful nibbana. So we say it few times because to balance it out, balance the powers, because that is actually good power. Metta is always a very, very soothing power. But Buddha Guna is not always soothing for everybody else. I mean, not for everybody. It's soothing for some, not so soothing for some. So that is the answer for the first one, and for the transfer of merits, right? So I have been guiding you when you have the way you have to spread merits. So the basis is, if you give money and you go to a neighbor, let's say you are a billionaire and you have a lot of money to spend, you are a philanthropist, and you go into the area where there are good people and bad people. Bad people in the sense they do drugs, they are like mafia, and all sorts of bad behaviors are there. And good people are like the ones who actually practice Dhamma and everything. So you decide, okay, I'll give $100 to everybody. And the ones who do drugs would buy drugs, and even the good neighborhood would get destroyed, right? So spreading merits should be like conditioned. Like, I'll give you this $100 for you for your rehabilitation. I'll give you this $100 for your food. I'll give you this $100 for the good people. You do anything with this $100 because they will not do bad things. But for bad people, we condition it and we say you only can use this for these purposes. So that's why we focus on each category, and at the end we say all the sentient beings who are in woeful planes and or in unwholesome realms may refrain from doing sinful acts. That is our condition. May replace those sinful acts with meritorious deeds, and may be born in a blissful plane. And who have been born in a blissful plane with this meritorious power, may they understand Dhamma by meeting a Kalyana Mitra or a noble friend. And everybody who has met a noble friend and open up the eyes of wisdom for them, there's no problem. We'll just transfer the merits to them to do whatever they want, because they won't be doing anything bad. So that is how it should be.
Okay, thank you very much, Venerable Thero.
Okay, then anyway, we will be doing a Punyanumodana at the end, so you can practically apply this.
Yeah, and just to make sure, going back a little bit more, your advice is that after Buddhaguna, it's always advisable to do Karaniya the metta, right?
It's actually a very good approach. If you can recite it at least once, it's very good.
Oh, Karaniya Metta Sutta?
Karaniya Matta Sutta.
Matta Sutta, okay. All right, yep. Okay, thank you very much, Venerable Thero.
Okay, then. Is there anything else? Oh, then otherwise we can wind up for today.
Not from me.
Okay. Okay, then we'll end with a short Punyanumodana, and then I can join the Prit chanting. Okay. So today we have discussed Dhamma points that help us to progress in this Arya pathway. We focused on Anicca Dukkha Anatta, we focused on Metta and also Buddhaguna. And the meritorious power that we generated through these Dhamma discussions are immeasurable, and it's of course the fuel that helps us to end this suffering samsaric journey. Those are the causes that we need to create to end this suffering samsaric journey. May all the meritorious power that we gathered today agglomerate together, helping us to end this suffering samsara. Any barriers, obstacles, and problems that we might be having in completing our Arya pathway may get diminished with this great meritorious power, and may all the causes align together to in a favorable manner to complete this Arya pathway, and may everyone attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana, ending the suffering samsara. Accept this by reciting Sadhu 3 times.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Let us also transfer this meritorious power to all the sentient beings in the universe, especially the deceased relations of this life and previous lives, and also everyone who helped us throughout this samsaric journey, parents, teachers, and also the spouses, children, relations, neighbors, and also everyone who has given us jobs, who has constructed our houses, vehicles, and all the infrastructure that we use. Only because of them, we are living a peaceful and a luxurious life. And also, let us also focus on everyone who were hurt and harmed by our unwholesome actions. Let us transfer this meritorious power to them as well. And also everyone who helped us to have this Dhamma discussion properly. Everyone who are paying for the internet bills, and also maintaining the temple, sponsoring for these devices, and everyone who has been helping us behind the scene to have this Dhamma discussion properly without any interruption. And also everyone who are in the realms of deities and also realms of Brahma, and all the sentient beings in the universe. Let us transfer this great meritorious power to them with metta and kindness. If they are in woeful planes, unwholesome areas, may they refrain from doing sinful acts. May they replace those sinful acts with meritorious deeds, and may they be born in a blissful plane. And everyone who are born in blissful plane may meet a Kalyana Mitra or a noble friend, open up the eyes of wisdom, and everyone who has opened up the eyes of wisdom may receive longevity, comfort, strength, skills, and wisdom that they need to complete their Arya journeys, and may they end the suffering samsara by attaining Nibbana. Transfer this great meritorious power to them as well with metta and kindness by reciting Sadhu 3 times.
Sadhu, sadhu,
sadhu, sadhu.
And we'll end today's Dhamma discussion. At the end, we will be reciting this Pali stanza, wishing everyone long life, comfortability, strength, skills, and wisdom. Abhivadana Silisa Nichang Vada Pachayano Chattaro Dhamma Vadanti Ayuvanno Sukambalang Ayurarogya Sampatti Sagga Sampatti Meo Chato Nibbana Sampatti Minati Samichatu. May you attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, then Teruvan Saranai everyone.
Teruvan
Hey.
Saranai. Teru Saranai.